Okay, here we go. Once you've found some influencers, you're going to want to reach out to them. So, first of all, in order to hit the influencers, make them see your message, we're going to go through, we're going to craft a perfect message for you. But it's important to know how you're going to contact them in the first place. DMs are usually open with these influencers, and so that's the first place you'll want to hit them, is just send a message in their DMs. So we'll go through that. And then also, you'll want to find their email. This is often going to be in their bio, but if not, you'll want to look it up on Google. So like the more places you hit them, the better. Generally, we will train our team to only hit them on DMs and emails. But if you could find like some hidden social media accounts of theirs that are old and maybe still active, if you could find their mom's account, if you could find all kinds of ways to get in contact with them, do that. Just do whatever it takes, get in touch. But first of all, DMs. How do you make sure that they open your message? Well, it's a few things. One, make sure you're sending a message from a verified account. Early on, you'll want to send it from a verified account. Once your brand is popular, send it from your brand account. If you're sending DMs from a brand account with like 20 followers early on, you're like, hey, I'm looking for you to do a paid promo with my app. They're going to be like, what the fuck? This is probably some scam. I'm not doing it. So you'll have a much lower response rate. You won't have a 0 response rate, but it will be much lower. What's better is to do it from your account. You know what? You should actually just do it from your brand account, but probably buy followers, buy likes. Give yourself some social proof. That's the best. If you're not going to do that, then do it from your personal account, but make sure you pay for the verification. There are a lot of influencers who only open DMs from people that are verified. So that is important. In your message, you'll want to craft something like this. This is the exact message we use for CalAI. We hit them right away, paid promo. This is what's shown in the preview of the message. The preview is going to be the first line of your DM. And so the influencer is going to be scrolling through. It's going to be a lot of, oh my gosh, I love your content. I want to meet up with you. I want your number. Can your kids be named after me? All these random things that people are sending the influencers, a bunch of weirdos. But yours is going to stick out. Paid promo, straight to the point. They click into it. Our calorie tracking app calculates the macros and calories of your meals by simply taking a picture. Let us know if you're interested in working with us and we'll send over more details. Happy to provide references of other creators we work with if you'd like. We say who it's from the CalAI team. Simple, snappy, straight to the point. It tells you exactly what our app does, tells them the next step if they're interested, and some social proof. We'll tell them, yeah, we've worked with other creators. We'll give you references. What could be even better than this is to say who the references are. So if you have a big influencer you worked with, sliding that in there. And then add a human aspect to it, who it is. Boom. This is great for a DM, so you'll want to do something very similar for your app. Generally, it's like, okay, keep the paid promo. Our blank app does blank. Let us know if you're interested in working with us and we can send over more details. The happy to provide references. If you have no other creators, I mean, you could just put that there. Most creators don't actually ask for references, so you're probably fine. But you might want to change that line to like, yeah, honestly, I would just keep it in there. I think it's all good. I don't think anyone really asks us. Maybe 1 out of 10 influencers will ask that. And yeah, if they reply, I would just hold off from replying to them until you do work with another influencer. So, okay, this works great for DMs. For emails, you'll want something a little bit longer, but you'll want the same thing, how it's short, snappy, straight to the point. So the subject line, that is extremely important for emails, and you'll want basically the same thing, paid promo in the subject. For us, we do paid promo with CalAI. That's the subject line. And then it's like this, but a little bit longer, just because emails, people are used to a little bit longer messages. It's maybe adding in like, hi, we love your content and think it would be a great fit for our app, period. And then it just goes into this exact same thing. So, okay, you don't want to necessarily just send this to anyone. you really only want to work with, at least early on, and really anytime you're working with influencers, you want to see at least 50K views on TikToks or Instagram Reels on average. That's very important. If they're getting views that are all over the place, where it's sometimes a few hundred views, sometimes a few thousand views, and then sometimes a few million views, because there are accounts that do that, where it's like a thousand million, thousand, 5,000 million. And you don't want an account like that. You want an account where it's very consistent, because if it's consistent, you can easily predict how many views your video will get in advance. And if you can predict in advance how many views your video is going to get, that means that you can figure out a price that will be profitable for you. This is where most brands go wrong, is that they think influencer marketing can't be profitable. It can be. You just have to look for specific accounts and then refine your formula for how much you're offering to them. And that's something we'll get into in the next sections. Connor will actually take over from there and talk about the negotiations. But okay, let's keep going with this. You definitely want to see a consistent posting schedule. And by the way, not all of these do you need to be always checking before sending the DM. It's a lot easier just to spam off DMs and then after they reply, assess if they qualify or not. So yeah, so that is what I would do. A huge one is the comment section. As we discussed before, views by themselves are meaningless. You need views that are attached to an audience that loves the influencer, that wants to be the influencer. And you could tell this through the comment section. If they're writing out well thought out paragraphs like, hey man, you really inspired me to get up and get going today. You got me to go to the gym, whatever it is, that is a real community. That's someone who has a deep connection with the influencer. That's an influencer you want to work with. Especially when you see people replying to other people. If someone writes a paragraph and then someone replies to that paragraph with another paragraph, this is just a beautiful sign. You want to see a lot of likes on every comment. That means the community is interacting with one another, being supportive of one another. If you see this, these are great signs that the influencer will be high converting. If they use your product, their audience will too. Here's some red flags: inconsistent views, comments full of emojis. If the comments are full of emojis like fire emojis, heart emojis, it's usually like bot views. They may not actually be real bots, but it's just low quality traffic, and it will not have a high conversion rate of view to download. One word reply is also bad, and scattered posting schedules. If there's like a post, if it's very random, then it's often because the creator is deleting the posts that didn't do well. You only want to work with creators that you know their video is going to get a consistent amount of views, get the same amount of views as they typically do, because otherwise you're just gambling at that point. If you don't know, or at least have an estimate how many views your video will get with the creator, then you're just gambling on if it's going to blow up or not. And we don't gamble here, we run real businesses. Remember, followers don't matter, only views and engagement do. Okay, so with this being said, we're going to move on to how to actually negotiate with an influencer, and Connor will take it from here. Last thing that's super important for outreach is setting expectations straight. You are not going to get a reply to your first DM. You will probably not get a reply to your first 50 DMs. In fact, it's probably going to take you sending hundreds to get one reply. This is in DMs, by the way. And it is a snowball effect. Once you get one DM, once influencers see you start using, so once influencers see other influencers start promoting your app, it gives you some brand authority, some social proof. And so if they see your brand DMing them, they're more likely to open the message. They're more likely to respond. But it really is a numbers game. Email, you'll get a slightly higher response rate. There's a trade-off I'm about to say. For email, it's like 1 in 10 emails the creator will reply to. At least, like early on, probably less. Early on, 1 in 20, 1 in 30. But it will eventually get to 1 in 10 once you have enough brand authority. But in terms of DMs, that's like 1 in a couple hundred if you're lucky early on. And it is important to keep in mind these two things. One, DMs are very good for getting in touch directly with the creator. If you're DMing them, it's likely that they don't have a manager on the account, and therefore you're more likely to get better rates, better promo rates, better prices. Whereas if you email them, usually the influencers that have emails in their bios, they're trying to get brand deals, meaning that they potentially have a manager. Most of the time they do if you reach out through an email that's in their bio. And these managers take a cut. So naturally, and they're also negotiating on behalf of the influencer. So naturally the prices are going to rise. Another important thing to mention is that, and this is something that Connor's going to go more into in the next section with negotiations, but minimum view guarantees, which is something he's going to define, managers are a lot less likely to accept a minimum view guarantee. So if you're working directly with the influencer, usually better, but a lot harder to get in touch. Messaging through email, you'll get a higher response rate, but usually worse prices. I'd recommend you do both.